What's going on, guys? So in front of me is our new refrigerator, and we'll eventually do a full review on it, but I wanted to talk about this specific refrigerator and why it's so special, because it has only one huge feature, and it's not the screen, but this is a feature that I think is absolutely brilliant, and it's the main reason why we justified paying as much as we did for this thing. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so a while back, we did a review on a new washer and dryer that we purchased. Not the ones here, but the ones at the other house. And a lot of people really liked that. So they said, you know, anytime we get other major appliances, then why not do a review on it? So I want to let you know what you're seeing in front of you. Okay, so right off the bat, when you look at this refrigerator, you may automatically think the crowning jewel reason of why you might want to get it is this huge screen right here. This is absolutely awesome, and it is a giant screen. It is a touch screen. It gives you all sorts of cool capabilities, as well as pairing it with like Alexa and other cool applications. You can put music on it. It has a sketch pad, all sorts of great things that really eliminate you needing to have a similar device in your kitchen because this has it on board. The part that I really liked about this screen was actually the part where you can leave notes and you can doodle on the screen. So my daughter, she saw this whenever we went to Lowe's, and she was just blown away by the screen. She was able to draw hearts on it and draw little characters, and I think that's really cool. And it lets us kind of do things together, which is really nice. But that's not the main reason why this fridge is awesome. As cool as this family hub feature is here and all the touchscreen capabilities and everything that you can do with this, what's even more cool about this refrigerator is a feature that you don't readily see. So I'm going to open up this refrigerator, and by the way, it looks absolutely beautiful inside. I love the use of stainless steel right there. I've seen some manufacturers where they put stainless steel right here as well, and that would actually look pretty nice. I love the fact, or we love the fact, my wife and I both love the fact that the ice maker is really compact and off to the side. We have an LG that has the ice maker in the door, and that's pretty convenient. It's not too bad. The challenge with that one is you give up any depth to your shelves. And you can see right here, there's still quite a bit of depth to this top shelf and this shelf as well. It does kind of pinch back there a little bit, but you can still fit things like a ketchup bottle, mayonnaise, things like that back there, no problem. And the ice maker itself doesn't protrude out this way like you see with a lot of refrigerators. So this is about half the thickness as many refrigerators that have ice in this part. So I love that. And my wife loves that because it gives you so much extra room. Now, this is a counter depth refrigerator, and quite frankly, I wish we hadn't have gotten the counter depth refrigerator. This is a 25 cubic foot capacity refrigerator. They make a 30 cubic foot version, but it's a little too tall, so we wouldn't be able to get it in here. The refrigerator that we took out was an older Samsung that had some problems with the freezer, and it fit, and it was larger than this. So it was about 1.5 feet in terms of capacity larger than this refrigerator. So hopefully we can still fit everything inside of this fridge without any problem. Now we have the pockets here on the door, very, very nice and deep. There's only one adjustment level here, so we can move one of these down or further up, I guess if you're going to put milk or things like that. First, we also have to check if you're supposed to put milk in the door. A lot of refrigerators, you're not supposed to. You have this adjustable shelf here. I can move it down or raise it up if I'd like, where it's at. And it gives you the ability here to put taller items here, which is really nice. Nice shelves through here. You can see the smart hub or the family hub making noise over there. This is kind of cool, so if I want to unlock this, I think I have to spin it, and then the water filter's in here. So this makes changing the water filter so much more convenient because we just don't have to worry about having to remove everything to get to the water filter like on our other refrigerators, and even the one that we replaced. Got your drawers right here. Still has some plastic we have to remove. I'll have to lift that up so I can pull that out. Have the drawer here, the instructions. And then the freezer down here. This has two types of ice that come through here automatically. So there's two ice makers inside of here. You have one that makes like a standard cubed ice, and then one that makes like broken up crushed ice, or more like nugget ice in here as well. And then this fridge also has ice in the door, so you can get curved ice or crushed ice. So it makes 4 different types of ice in this fridge. Now they make another one with like a beverage center, which I kind of like because I like having water that fills up in a jug automatically so I can put it in my coffee machine. But this one doesn't have that feature. In turn though, you have the water and ice dispenser on the outside of the fridge, which those fridges generally don't have. Now, again, let's look in the freezer. You got the two types of ice here. You got more storage. One thing I'm starting to notice is the little shelf or little storage area you have here, you're starting not to see it as much in fridges anymore. We couldn't find any of them that actually had that anymore, which is kind of interesting because that was a very convenient place to keep things like, you know, Hot Pockets and stuff for the kids so they could easily get to it. But yeah, they completely eliminate that space, and it's not really an area that you can do anything with anymore, which is kind of the downside to it because it's just empty, hollow space. You have your two big bins down there for freezer items. But the one thing, and I've been making you guys wait for it, the one feature that makes this such a desirable refrigerator is, so check this out. These are 3 cameras that once you log in with your app, you can actually see what's inside of your refrigerator when it's closed. Now, for the most part, that's not a feature people use every single day. But where that feature comes in incredibly handy is if you're in the supermarket and you're shopping and you want to know what's in your fridge, how much milk you have left, if you need butter, you know, things like that. Being able to look into your fridge remotely while you're shopping, I think is game-changing. That's a huge, huge, huge feature, and quite frankly, no one else does it that I'm aware of. There might be some other high-end brand that does it, but this is the only one that that I saw at Lowe's or Home Depot or Best Buy that actually had that feature. So super, super cool there. The other interesting thing about this refrigerator, and this isn't one I really care for, but this refrigerator ended up costing us like $1,300 more than we expected because they had a clearance on this My Family version of the refrigerator, but they were completely out of stock. So we weren't able to buy the previous generation of this refrigerator because they didn't have any more available. And I really wanted to get that one because I feel it was pretty much the same. And it actually was greater capacity. It was like 1.5 foot, 26.5, I think, versus 25. So it had more capacity, and that would have been really nice, and I would have been able to save a lot of money. It was like $1,900 or $1,800 on sale, and it had the same setup. Your Lowe's in your area may actually have it for sale still. So I just know it wasn't for sale here, and we would have had to travel like 8 hours to get one. Just wasn't worth it. We paid the extra $1,300 to get this refrigerator instead, which is the newer model. This one is a lot more squared off. It's not curved like the other one, which I don't really care about. This is a counter depth refrigerator, which you can clearly see is not counter depth, but it's a 25 cubic foot refrigerator, which is actually a pretty good amount of capacity for a counter depth refrigerator, again, which isn't counter depth. The refrigerator model that's bigger than this is the 30 cubic foot model, and that one unfortunately wouldn't have fit because the space right here would have been too tall, and we would have had to shave the cabinets like 1.5 inches to make it fit. So you always want to check the dimensions of your refrigerator whenever you buy one to make sure it fits in the spot that you have. This one fit for us. I'm going to try to load it all back up with the stuff that I removed. I'm going to see what the capacity feels like once we get this thing loaded back up with groceries. Okay, so I have it full, and the refrigerator was pretty much empty anyways. We cleaned a lot of stuff out of it before we got this refrigerator in, just so we didn't have to transfer as much stuff. You know, the other refrigerator felt like it had a little bit more space from a depth perspective, and I'm sure it did. That 1.5 cubic foot difference was somewhere, and that's probably where it was. The drawers are still empty. Got some stuff in here. Pretty much have the doors packed, but yeah, the refrigerator has a fair amount of capacity. But what's kind of disappointing is the freezer. So this is where the ice dispenses, and because of that, it takes up a huge amount of space here. I don't know if we're going to use the extra ice in here, so we may just take this tray out and use it for freezer space, because I totally have this bottom part stuffed with different things just because I can't fit anymore in. And with this here, again, cool that it has another ice maker. Just don't know how practical it is for us because it takes up so much of your freezer space on a refrigerator that's already counter depth, so they had to sacrifice some space anyways. I was able to fit some nice things around here, good amount of stuff up here, and then The doors are pretty much stuffed. Again, I do have the 2 drawers that are empty, a lot more space in here, and there's a lot of space in the refrigerator itself, so you definitely don't sacrifice too much there. So overall, that's a good option for folks who are looking for a lot of technology with the camera capability built into the door that gives you that capability of seeing the inside of your fridge while you're shopping. And it may not, again, seem like that big of a deal to a lot of folks, but how often do you go to the grocery store, you know, you're stocking up on stuff and you're like, do we have milk? Do we have butter? Do we have any more of my Texas hot sauce that I love so much? I mean, do we have this stuff? And if we don't, how do we check without calling someone who may not be at home to check for us? And having cameras on your refrigerator definitely can make a big difference when it comes to just shopping and seeing what you need versus what you don't need. Anyways, guys, this is not a review. This is kind of, well, I guess it's kind of a review of the features. I like it, but this can't be a full review of the refrigerator because we just got it. So as far as, you know, how well it cools, if we have any glitches with the technology, that's to be determined. We just don't know yet. That said, though, super cool refrigerator. They've had this tech for a while. So the family hub's been around for a while. So it's not as if it's brand new tech, and I'm sure they've worked the bugs out of it in some way. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about this refrigerator? What do you think about this new technology you can get on your refrigerator? It would be cool to see that in an RV, because this is a full-size residential refrigerator, and having that tech built into your RV, especially if you can control things in your RV with it, would be game-changing. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.